Primates Ndokoba divulges another way that will help solve challenges the country is facing. United Kingdom to start plans for English schools after lockdown. United States and the UK raise concerns over the killings in Nigeria. Pleasure to welcome you to this edition of News on the Hour. I am Charles Philip Wakolam. Starting from the local scene, no doubt Nigeria as a nation is going through a lot of issues or challenges bordering around insecurity, like kidnapping, insurgency, even economic challenges like unemployment, especially for the youths, amongst other challenges. As a result, the primates of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, His Grace the Most Reverend Henry Ndokoba, has said there is need for collaboration between the government and the people, as he believes that will aid in solving some of the issues. He made this known while speaking in an interview with newsmen in Abuja.
Insecurity, kidnapping, and all sorts of things happening, bordering on security issues. But apart from that, there is also the economic. And on every side, our nation, Nigeria, as well as our world, is facing a very difficult time. And apart from that, the issue of unemployment, and especially youth unemployment, restiveness, and other issues, in fact, create a lot of issues to handle. No government, no matter how resourced and empowered, can face these many challenges on their own. And so there is the need for patriotism from the people. There is the need for collaboration between the government and the people, between the church and the society. And in fact, we all need to work together in order to see that we deal with these issues.
Meanwhile, on the national news, members of the Northern Governors Forum met to review the security situation in the region. In a teleconference, which was presided over by the chairman of the forum and the Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong, held against the backdrop of recent attacks on communities in the northern states by Boko Haram and bandits, among other criminals. The governors were concerned about the level of insecurity in the region and took some measures to address the situation. Among other resolutions, they agreed to set up a standing committee on security in the north to foster synergy with security agencies in the enforcement of security measures in the region. Former Aviation Minister Fani Kayode has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to sack all his service chiefs. Fani Kayode made this call while faulting the query Buhari issued to service chiefs following the continued killings in Nigeria. In a tweet in his official Twitter handle, the former minister said the president should be courageous enough to sack his service chiefs and not just query them. Buhari had earlier said that he would no longer tolerate excuses from service chiefs over the spate of insecurity in the country. Speaking during a briefing, the president had insisted that the service chiefs had not done enough to curb the insecurity in the country. Ahead of the Edo State governorship election, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has postponed its primary election for the forthcoming governorship poll in Edo State. PDP's National Publicity Secretary, Kola Ologbodiyan, announced this in a statement. According to him, the National Working Committee of the PDP took the decision to postpone the exercise based on the exigencies of party activities. Ologbondiyan revealed that the primary election, earlier scheduled for Friday 19th and Saturday 20th June, has now been shifted to Tuesday, June 23. He urged all governorship aspirants, critical stakeholders, party faithful, and PDP supporters in Edo State to take note of the new date for the exercise, and also gave an assurance that the party would conduct its activities in line with the COVID-19 guidelines of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC. Now still to come, Standing Committee in the Episcopal Church of USA has hit impasse over timing of retirement of Bishop Martin Daniels. These and other stories will be brought to you shortly after the break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. For more on our top stories, please visit our website at acnntv.com or social media platforms on facebook.com or youtube.com/ACNNTV. To be up to date with our news and other programs, download the VM Africa app from Android and iOS stores. And now to the international scene. The Diocese of Springfield's Standing Committee is in mediation with Bishop Daniel Martins to settle a disagreement over the bishop's retirement, with Martins planning to retire in June 2021 and the Standing Committee insisting he step down sooner. The Standing Committee has informed Martins it is unhappy with its previously approved arrangement allowing the bishop to reside in Chicago and commute to the diocese, which encompasses the largely rural southern half of Illinois. The diocese now is working with a mediator to settle the dispute, with input from Bishop Todd Ousley, who leads the Episcopal Church's Office of Pastoral Development and regularly assists dioceses with their bishop transitions. The United States has decried the senseless and brazen killings of citizens in northern parts of Nigeria. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo condemned the situation in a press statement where he urged the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration to act. Pompeo noted that in recent weeks, suspected ISIS West African militants launched multiple attacks on Borno State. According to him, more than 120 civilians, including women, children, and the elderly, lost their lives. The senior official recalled that June 9, unidentified armed bandits attacked a village in Katsina State, killing dozens. The U.S. said the horrific crimes occurred after the shooting of a pastor and his pregnant wife on June 1. It also referred to the killing of an imam, local village head, and several civilians on June 5 during intercommunal violence in Taraba State. Pompeo's statement expressed concern that tens of thousands of civilians have died in recent years due to attacks by terrorist groups or criminal gangs, intercommunal violence, or their religious beliefs. The United States called on the government of Nigeria to do more to strengthen ongoing efforts to address this violence, hold those responsible accountable, and protect civilians. Meanwhile, United Kingdom-based all-party groups comprising informal groups of members of the House of Lords and House of Commons have raised concerns about genocide in Nigeria. In a 39-page publication endorsed by Chair of the APPG, Jim Shannon MP, which he said was not an official position of both houses, the group of parliamentarians said Boko Haram terrorists were the promoters of the genocide in the country. Although it could not mention the exact death figures, it said thousands of civilians were killed in the herdsmen attacks and periodic reprisal violence. Although Search for Common Ground group confirmed that between January 1, 2019 and January 1, 2020, intercommunal violence represented the most severe threat to the civilian population in Nigeria, while Mercy Corps reported that the violence cost the Nigerian economy £10.5 billion yearly. The report indicated that some of the worst affected states are Benue, Plateau, Taraba, Adamawa, Kaduna, Kwara, Borno, and Zamfara. The group also cited the influence of politics, saying political actors working to further their own interests have deepened religious disharmony in Nigeria. It further noted that criminality also played a crucial role in the violence, lamenting that rural communities across northern and central Nigeria, including Fulani herders and farming communities of diverse ethnic and religious identities, have lost their livelihoods to village raids, cattle rustling, and kidnapping. The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that the Trump administration cannot proceed with its plans to end a temporary program that protects from deportation of hundreds of thousands of immigrants who were brought to the U.S. illegally as children. In a ruling in which Chief Justice John Roberts sided with the liberal justices, the nation's High Court blocked the Trump administration from carrying out a plan it first announced in 2017 to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, DACA. The DACA program was enacted in 2012 by the Obama administration to allow young immigrants brought to the country as children to apply for a temporary status that protects them from deportation and authorizes them to work in the country. The program gave the Department of Homeland Security the ability to exercise prosecutorial discretion to defer deportation for immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally while they were 18 or younger and have lived in the U.S. since 2007. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said English schools would receive £1 billion in funding to help pupils catch up after missing months of classes due to the coronavirus. The financial boost comes as his government faces withering criticism over its broken pledge to have all primary school children back for a month before the summer holidays. although it is also struggling to get all pupils back for the new academic year in September if social distancing rules requiring people to keep 2 meters apart remain in force. Now to some football news. Jose Mourinho conceded Tottenham Hotspurs cannot compete with the spending power of Premier League rivals like Chelsea and Manchester United. The Spurs broke their transfer record last July to spend £55 million on Tanguy Ndombele from Lyon, while the acquisitions of Giovanni Lo Celso, Steven Bergwijn and Ryan Sessegnon in the past 2 windows took their outlay to well above £100 million. However, Mourinho does not anticipate more big spending when the window reopens. Despite seeing Chelsea this week agree £47.5 million deal to acquire Timo Werner in July, having already reached terms with Ajax Hakim Ziyech, saying every club has its own situation and philosophy and approach. Paul Pogba has been urged by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United's coach, to replicate the leadership qualities he showed with the France when he returns for Manchester United. The 27-year-old midfielder has made just 8 appearances in all competitions for United this term and has been out since December, having undergone ankle surgery in the new year. With that sports story, we'll bring this edition of News on the Hour to an end. Want to thank you for watching. I remain Charles Philip Owakolam. Bye-bye.